Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Castaway Studios. I'm Derek, and today in the studio we have a very special guest, the new Zoom Livetrak L-8. Check it out. We're going to have a good look at it after this. Now, we're no stranger to the word game changer in the podcast world. To me, it was the Zoom L-8 was the first game changer I was aware of, because it was an affordable way of having a mixing desk in the studio to record multi-track to DAW and record multi-track at the same time to SD card. Massive difference to my, not just my workflow, but my ability to operate this studio. Enter stage left, Rode with the Rodecaster Pro. Bam, that was huge. It was just over a year ago now. And what a thing it was. And a huge part of my business is teaching, dealing with schools, kids, and teaching newcomers to the podcast world how to record podcasting. And the Rodecaster Pro allowed me to simply set and forget, I guess, but also focus more on the content for people and their interview styles, and spend less time on technical learning, and also much less chance of getting something wrong once Rode had produced the firmware that allowed both multi-track to the DAW and multi-track on board to the SD card. All right, so all I've done is whip this thing out of its box. It's just arrived, and sat it on the table. I'm not even going to plug it in yet, because tomorrow I'm going to plug it in, set it up, use it, record a podcast, and then do my Rodecaster V Livetrak L-8 shootout. And let's have a look at the differences, the similarities, and also the different uses that I'll be using for both of these. I already know from the advertised specs of both of these things that I will be using both of these for very different purposes. But I'm very excited by some of the advertised features of the L-8. So let's have a quick look over that and see what's what. All right. So what have we got? Let's compare it to the L-12. I don't know if you're familiar with the L-12. It's been out for a while now, possibly a year and a half or 2 years. We have 6 individual XLR tracks. So basically you got the opportunity for 6 microphones to go in there. That's good, right? 6 or 4 microphones in interview, and someone might be playing a DI, guitar through a DI or something like that. Or you might want to set up an alternative microphone, say in a stage environment, for one person to go from one mic to another mic with a different channel. And say if you're going to talk for a while in a podcast and then go and sing a song, you can set up the extra one allows you to set up the other channel with the reverb and any effects you need for your singing that you definitely do not want in your podcast chatter. Right, so 6 XLRs. We're assuming right now it's a Zoom product. They've been at it for a long time and always done an excellent job of choosing and installing the best preamps that they can find. I love these little guys here because they are, what do they call them? By use or whatever, but these are multi plugs, which allow you to use a standard XLR, but also a 1/4 inch jack straight into there. If you put a guitar lead straight into the middle hole of that, or an XLR. The Zoom H4n and the Zoom H6, they've all been doing it for years, and it really has come in very handy a lot of times, especially on the portable setups. So you've also got these 1/4 inch holes for tracks 7 and 8, which I imagine you could use as a stereo, and also another TRRS 8-inch jack there, which has a picture of a phone on. So that would be for a mix minus phone interview. So what have they learnt from Rode? People love this stuff. I love this stuff. I can set someone up in the studio and they can just plug their phone in to my into my desk and immediately be able to do a telephone interview, or using Skype or Zoom or any of those other things, or FaceTime into the laptop. So absolutely terrific feature. Also appears USB as well. It says USB. So there you go. So you can possibly choose which one of these is going to be inputting from USB or TRS or 7 and 8 1/4 inch. All right, let's have another look along here a bit more. We have got master out. This is fabulous. Okay, this is pro. Just last night I was recording in a venue, a live comedy show, using the Zoom L-8, which is the big brother of this thing, right? And these are great because you just go XLR from here and straight into a couple of the channels of the house system. So if there's if they're running house music or whatever into their system, you're also running the podcast into their system to do the full PA and the fallback and all that kind of thing. Whereas you can still control and record on board what's going on. So getting control, because when you're doing a live podcast, I favour the recording. That's my most important thing, right? But quite often in the heat of the moment, everyone wants to more focus on the audience that's right there in front of them. So it's that getting that balance works really well. Straight out of there into there. Okay, so here we have a row of beautiful monitor outs. So headphone outs. There's a little picture of headphones there, but you can also send them out. I've used headphone outs for many things, like going back into another computer's sound card to record into OBS or something like that if there's no digital connection. Individually controllable for volume there. And so there, your whole room, everyone at the studio can have a headphone each. The extra feature here along here is a beautiful feature. You've got if I click all those up, then everyone's listening to the master. This one is only the master. Clearly it says master, right? So that is the headphones for the master. That might be what your producer's going to be wearing, okay? So then you've got these other three which go to the desk. Personally, I would send this one to my host. If I'm producing at the desk, I'm on this one, my host's on this one, and they're also hearing the master. My co-host or single guest goes on this one, and this one I would put a splitter in, split it into two for the other two spots in my studio for extra guests and things like that. I generally don't use headphones, but there you go. That's the way I've always rolled. But here, these switches, magnificently, you can switch them and program the mix. See, I've switched that to mix C. So when I read the instructions, I will find out how to do that, and you can preset the exact mix that this person hears or this output hears. So you can actually send a completely separate mix to someone. This was the origins, and this is how the L-8 would manage to get over the whole mix minus thing, which allows the phone call thing to come in and out. But the onboard is a way better option. That is for sure. All right, so this is great. Programmable mixes out. It's wonderful. It really is. All right, moving down the board, we have phantom power on and off right there, right in front of you. You have gain controls. This is great. This is going to really come into play in the shootout in the next day or so. What we have here is select button. See this blue area here? So when you select each track, say I select my track number 1, and then I can go along and set the effects, pan, anything in this area here, and that is a 3-band EQ, and there'll be other settings there that allow you to program exactly what happens to that track, right? I don't know if it has it, but on the L-12 there was another row, and that was an onboard compressor. Now in podcasting, I don't use those because we're going, if I was live maybe, but I'm going straight into my DAW to start using those effects. So I'm less likely to do a permanent change to the audio on its way into the recording. I'd rather record it absolutely pure, as long as I'm not clipping, and then deal with compression afterwards. But there you go. So for podcasting, I don't think onboard compression is all that necessary. Could be handy for a live event, but we'll see. Let's find out if it's in here tomorrow. All right, moving right along. These sliders are a lot shorter than the L-12. You can see it's got LEDs in there, and we'll see how they roll, or how accurate they are, and we'll check all that out tomorrow. This is what controls the effects return. Okay, so when you select each track, you say, I want a bit of reverb for track 5. Select, up you go, reverb, blah, 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 and how much of it you want, which is, it's nice that that's a slider. And it's blue, linking it all together beautifully. There's your master slider. And over here is a little bit harder to read, but I'm guessing maybe it's going to be backlit when I light it up tomorrow. But each of these buttons in the recording section appears to have a few master, mix A, mix B, mix C. So these buttons are being multi-used. So we'll get a feel for that and how that goes. But it looks like these are recording buttons are being combined with some of the buttons that did appear on the L-12 separately. So space, real estate is an issue here, and they've dealt with it like that. So the standard Zoom recording setup, I've never had any reason to worry about redundancy in Zoom recording devices. I've always had a 100% success and haven't lost anything or corrupted anything. So I am assuming the same goes for this machine. Nice big buttons here. And well, I added something else. Oh, the sound pad. Yes. See these little white buttons in here. I'm guessing when we turn it on, they'll be all colourful and everything like that. And possibly, I haven't even looked at the software or anything like that might come with it. But there you have it. So you can't not have the features that the Rodecaster has. So it appears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 little pre-programmable sound pads. And we'll get to exactly where they go, where they come from, how you program them. Okay, you can see that 3 of them are lined up in this bus and 3 of them are lined up in this bus. So I would imagine this input select button, you will decide what you're going to use that channel for, which could be very interesting if you've got your show intro, like what I do with my shows, because I'm too lazy to edit. I have the intro ready and I say, "G'day, welcome to my show," and then I press the button and just sit tight while I record the intro from the sound pad. But if I was doing a phone in using this mix minus feature, I'm wondering if that means I've got to, choose that or the sound pad. Or perhaps the handy thing about buttons everywhere is, rather than, settings, is you can possibly, after your intro's done, then go back to setting it to the phone in. All right, I'm kind of working it out, but I haven't even plugged it in. Like I said, first impressions are very good. It's cute. It's probably about 2/3 the width of a Rodecaster Pro and a little bit deeper. And well, I'm going to shoot out tomorrow, so I won't start going through the differences. It does have your traditional teeny little Rode screen and the little button here. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow before I bang on any more. Wish me luck, and next time you see me, I will be an expert on the Zoom Livetrak L-8.